Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Shelly here and welcome to my first wig making video. I'm sorry you guys, this video is a little bit speedy because I was literally in a rush when I was making this wig, so I just really wanted to film it for you guys because you guys have been asking me how I make my wigs, and I'm gonna show you guys right here, right now in this video. So I'm just showing you guys everything that I use right here to construct my wig. This is the hair company that I'll be working with today. The hair company is called True Hair here in New York. I don't know if they have any other stores in any other states. I don't think so, but they're here in New York. They have a couple of different branches, and yeah, they have their Instagram and their website, so I'll go ahead and link that down below for you guys if you're interested in buying hair from them. But that's the company that I'll be using today. Here I'm just showing you the bleach that I'm going to be using for the lace of the closure. Now this closure is a 6x6 closure. It's a lot bigger than a normal 4x4 that you guys are normally used to seeing. I love this closure because it's almost a frontal, but not a frontal in a kind of sense, if you know what I mean. It fits from like eyebrow to eyebrow on the forehead. You guys will see that in the end of the video, but yeah, I love it because it's a lot bigger. So after I apply the bleach to the lace of the closure, I just lay it downwards, let that sit for about 10 to 15 minutes and let the lace bleach. I just basically mix it as thick as possible so that it doesn't soak through. And you guys, this process that I'm doing, I just learned this from watching Peak Mill, Ivy, Tara Monet, Lakia Star, all those wig videos from like back in the days that they used to make. That's how I basically like watched them and picked up ideas on how to make like a wig, how to like construct it, make it better. It's still a process for me, I would say, in learning how to like really make a wig like stand out, but I think I do a pretty good job. So you guys always ask me on Snapchat, so here we are. To stop the process of the bleach on the lace is to use a neutralizing shampoo. So this I learned from going to beauty school. Yes, I did go to beauty school. I know a lot of you guys don't know that, but yes, I did attend beauty school. I have my certificate, I just don't have my license, but I did go to beauty school. So when you're doing any kind of chemical on a hair, to stop the processing of the chemical, you have to use a neutralizing shampoo. If you use a regular shampoo, the process is going to stop after a while, but it can still keep bleaching. Or if you had perm in your hair, it'll still keep perming your hair. The process will still keep going for a little while, but using a neutralizing shampoo is like when you put a cap on a bottle, it stops it right away. So I just use a keratin conditioner on the hair because keratin is really, it just makes the hair really soft, really nice, and it basically brings back the texture of the hair. So the first thing I'm going to do when I start making the wig is flip the cap upside down and use these pins to basically pin down the track. I'm going to link this mannequin head and these pins down below for you guys because they are like a godsend in my wig making process. I'm sorry. I really love this wig head and the pins that I'm using. I saw Peak Mill using these in her video, so that's where I got the tea on how to what to use in what's the best thing to use in making the wig. I'm babbling over my words, but let's go back to making the wig. That first piece of lace that you sit down underneath and sew it, when you pull the hair up, as you guys can see, if you want to put your hair up in a bun, that's what covers the edge of the cap so that it does not show. So if you're making it for yourself or for a client or for a family member, I highly suggest you do that first step because you don't know if you're ever going to want to put your hair up in a bun or if they're going to want to ever put their hair up in a bun. So that just helps to basically act as a security to not let anyone know that you're wearing a wig. So right here you guys can see the way how I'm sewing the hair. I'm basically sewing it in like a U shape, I would say, or a C shape. So yeah, right here I'm just putting, when I push the I'm sorry you guys, I'm babbling over my words. I hate doing voiceovers. When I put the thread or the needle through the cap, I just let it sit there, and then I wrap the thread like 2 to 3 times around the needle and then pull it. That just helps it to secure the sewing a lot more. You know, sometimes when you get a sew-in or you get a weave and the tracks tend to like lift up, when I sew my wigs like this, the tracks does not lift, they do not move, nothing at all. So when you're sewing your wig, you always want to keep flipping the hair over and over. You don't want to cut the lace. I see a lot of people cut the lace, not the lace, cut the weft when they're sewing their hair, and that's how you create shedding. You do not want to cut the weft. I used 3 bundles in this wig to make this wig, and the only time when I cut the weft was that one time when I sewed it underneath to create that barrier of if you want to put the hair up in a ponytail. So I'm just showing you guys the texture of the closure after I wash it. You guys can see that it went right back to the natural state and the curls were perfect again. So right here in the front of the cap, I kind of use these 2 lines as a guide to where I want to place the lace. Now you could have placed the lace the first thing. Sometimes I'll do the lace, I'll do the closure first and then start sewing the wig, but the closure was wet when I was making the wig, so that's why it's going on afterwards, but normally I would do it before. And don't mind the brassiness of the lace, I did go back and fix that afterwards. However, I didn't get to film it because it was in a rush, and I was filming this video in daylight with natural lighting, and I just didn't have no more natural lighting and I was in a rush, so I didn't get to show you guys how to fix the brassiness, but I'm gonna make a detailed video on how to do that. So what you want to do here, and why I said this wig head or this mannequin head and these pins are a godsend, is because when you're doing this process, you want a mannequin head that does not move around. I used to use the foam head for years, and while I was doing that, the mannequin head was just moving, twisting, turning, and it was so annoying. With this wig head or this mannequin head, the wig, the lace, or even the hair when I was sewing it, it does not move around. So I just left that space in the middle because you don't want the lace to sew down too flat based on the size of the lace, the size of the wig that you're trying to make. This is how I basically just measure up the size of my sister's head. I'm kind of good with measurement in doing it this way. Some people gotta use a measuring tape and all this stuff. I don't have to do that. I can look at your head and estimate how big or how small I need to make your wig. I'm that good at measuring because I was good in math. I don't know, but I never made a wig for someone and it was too big or too small. So right here I'm just taking the back of the lace and the sides of the lace and basically just pinning it down just to secure it into place so that when I'm sewing down the lace, it does not move. Sometimes you can find that when you're sewing down your closures, it will move around, and then when you sew from one side to one side, it kind of balls up or it pushes off the edge of the cap, and then it's not going to be even. So I'm just measuring it right here, putting it down, tacking it down with these pins, and then balling up the hair in like a little bun so that it's not in my way. Starting out with sewing the lace, you can either do it from upside down or underneath going upwards. I started underneath going upwards, and then you guys will see when I finish sewing the lace, I was going upward, like starting upward and going underneath. It's no special way to sew this, so if anyone told you that, then I'm not gonna say they're lying, but I've sewed plenty of wigs and it didn't make a difference. So that's just my opinion. That's how I do it. So I'm not telling guys that what other people do is not good or not right, or what they're saying is not true. Everyone has their own way of doing stuff, and you guys should do that too. If you want to learn how to start making your own wigs, just test it out, try it out, start using some $20 beauty supply store here and see how you like it, and then practice. Practice becomes perfect. I was not good when I first started doing this thing. Like I was not the best of sewing wigs, but now I can close my eye and sew a wig in seconds. Like it's that big of a deal. So You want to do the same thing when sewing the lace. Wrap the thread around the needle a couple of times. That will secure your sewing or your stitching and make it not move off of the cap once you're done sewing. So that's basically it of how I sew down the closure. Now moving back to the rest of the hair, I like to take the weft of the hair and just measure to see exactly what I'm doing when making the wig. I did not cut the lace, I did not cut the weft at all like I mentioned before. And I highly suggest you guys try not to cut your weft as much as you possibly can, because then in the long run you won't have your hair shedding all over the place. Even after I wash my wigs, after like months and months and months, they still don't shed because there's no way to shed unless you buy the hair from a cheap company that sells you crappy hair. But this hair was really good, and I have a couple of other websites that I can mention. Ali Annabelle, amazing. Like, they're one of the best hair companies on AliExpress, and I'm not being paid to say this. Y'all know that ain't nobody sponsoring me right now. So I've bought their hair twice before and I love it. One of the best hair that I've ever bought from AliExpress. Like, they're better than Eunice hair. That's how good they are. Right here you guys will see that I'm just sewing the last track or the last track of the wig. I'm saying what I want to say, and then I'm saying before. I'm so horrible at doing voiceovers. I'm sorry you guys, I'm babbling over my words, but you guys get what I'm saying. So take the hair or take the weft, flip it over, and continue to sew. The last one that you sew, you want to make sure that you're sewing it not on top of the lace but right at the lace. If you sew it on top, you might have a little bit of a bump where your lace closure ends, and you don't want that. So yeah, that's what I did there. And I distributed the 3 bundles of hair that I used all over the wig cap. Some people sew it spacier in the back and then a lot fuller at the top or in the middle. I do not like that method because then at the top of your head it could just be too bulky. It makes you look like you have a cone head, and I don't like that. So I just distribute the bundles. Whether I'm using 3 or I'm using 4, if I'm using 4, I'll sew the wefts a lot closer together. But I just measure up exactly where the 3 bundles will fit, and then I make it fit evenly throughout the whole entire process of me making the wig, if you guys get what I mean. But here is the wig after I'm completely done, you guys. The texture of the hair is amazing. I love this hair so freaking much. I used 3 bundles like I mentioned, a 18, 20, and a 22, and this is an 18-inch 6x6 lace closure. I will leave all the details of the hair down below. I'll also link their Instagram and list their website of the hair company that I used to make this hair, so you guys will have all that details if you guys are interested in buying hair from that company. I don't know the owner. I don't know like who they are. I just know that my sister got the hair from them, and yeah, that's basically it. So I'm not being paid to like list their company down below, but you guys are gonna probably want to know what hair company is this, where are they from, who are they, and I'm just gonna let you guys know. So yeah. After you finish making the wig, you want to cut off that excess cap from underneath the lace because you don't want that. And then here is basically the end of the wig, you guys. Like I said, I did go back and fix the brassiness of the lace, and here is my beautiful sister wearing her wig. She absolutely loved it. She kept the curl pattern of the hair the first couple of times she worn it. I don't know if she's changed it by now, but that's about it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. Peace.